Welcome to Tuesday Talks at 3. This is Lucy Macridis, and I am voiced by Lucy, serving up your weekly dose of personal growth, self-awareness, and unstoppable inspiration. Whether you're here to level up or rediscover your purpose, you are in the right place. Now don't forget to hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications so that you never miss a moment of transformation. Let's dive in.
Empathy is a leader's ability to understand and share the feelings of their team members, essentially to step into their shoes, the shoes of their team members, and to connect. Hi, this is Lucy, your clarity coach, and this is Tuesday Talks at 3. Welcome to the Resilience in Leadership series, where we dive into building emotional resilience and self-leadership in your personal and professional life. We have 4 episodes and we've already covered episode 1. Now this is episode 2 on leader empathy. And as we look at leader empathy, I am sharing 2 areas where we listen to understand, not listening to respond, and showing compassion. You see, listening to understand is a skill for a leader because everybody comes with their own version of understanding of the communication that has been shared by you, the leader. Therefore, when you are listening, which is active listening, you are listening for the things that they are not saying, the things that they're afraid of, the things that they're proud of, the things they're confident of. Literally, you are reading between the lines. And this is the art of listening to understand, not to respond. For context, I'm very sure that you're all familiar with you being in a situation where you are speaking to somebody and you're excited, or maybe you're sad, whatever it is that you're sharing is really deep for you. And the other person cannot wait for you to finish so they can say something. That is someone who's listening to respond. On the contrary, when somebody is listening to you and you're sharing something so deep and they're there listening and nodding and maybe grunting, oh, and saying a few words, I hear you, I'm sorry about that, or well done. Really? Then what happened? This is somebody who is listening so that they can understand what you're going through. In fact, some of the things that people do is they ask you a question as you are speaking, and then it gets you going. I mean, the best thing is when you watch children telling their story to their guardians. And if it is a guardian who's listening to understand, they get them going. It's as if they keep on adding a comma or a semicolon so that this narrative can continue. And you watch this child getting more confident and confident and confident. Well, the children still live in us. And we appreciate when somebody listens to understand, not to respond, because you can tell the difference. Yeah? So how does active listening strengthen leadership? Why would this be a skill that you as a leader need to be able to take on? And if you don't have it, to learn it so that you can thrive as a leader. Well, it just builds trust. It builds trust and understanding so that anybody who has something to share, good or bad, or just gray area, feels that they can trust you with that information, that they can come to you and that you will listen to them objectively, that you will be able to understand where they're coming from because your response will be paraphrasing. You will repeat what they say to you. Say, perhaps, do I understand that this is what you mean? Or, so you are saying, or, what I thought you felt the other day, I'm hearing something different now. Tell me more. And that way, the person who is sharing with you sees that you are listening to understand. Well, I've got something to help you with that as a leader. You just need to download our active listening guide and practice it with a friend today. Because this active listening guide will help you practice before you go back to your team or to people that you lead. If you're aspiring to be a leader, then this is a skill that you can build. And where can you get this listening guide? You can get it in our Facebook group, which is We Are Connected. Are you not a member yet? Well, if you DM me here and you write down We Are Connected, I will understand that you want to become a member and I will send you the link. So that is listening to understand. Now moving on to showing compassion, because we are in empathy. Did you know that empathy is multifaceted? There's three basic things about empathy. There's cognitive empathy, where you look at something unfolding and you just register it in your mind and you keep it moving. Then there's emotional empathy, where you feel exactly that kind of emotion. If somebody is laughing so hard, you get moved to also laugh equally as hard, if not harder. If somebody is feeling pain, you also wince with the pain, and yet you do not have the pain. You're not hurt. But because it is emotional empathy, you wince in pain. That is emotional empathy. Then there's compassionate empathy. That is what we're going to talk about now as a leader. Showing compassion while maintaining boundaries is another skill for a leader. So in your groups where you are a leader, you don't necessarily have to be running the office or running the project. You might be in a cellular group, and in this group, you're the one who's leading the project. How then do you show compassion while maintaining boundaries? Because work has to be done. We've got deadlines that we have to meet. But then as leaders, how do we balance this empathy and accountability? At the end of the day, we have to show the progress of whatever project we are in. We have to show how it is advancing positively, upwards, onwards, forward, and not falling back. So for an instance, you could offer support to a colleague while clearly outlining the rules, regulations, the terms of reference, the consequences. So we could either be congratulating you for a work well done or for effort that has been put in, or we could actually be extending sanctions. And this could be discipline in whichever way that you would choose and you would be sharing as consequences. So maybe you could be recognizing, remember we talked about mindfulness as a leader in the last episode? Well, here you could be saying to somebody, I understand this is challenging. So as a leader, you are having compassionate empathy for this individual by saying that you understand that it could be a challenge because you can see them struggling. You don't kick them to the curb. Your work as a leader is to coach and mentor and help this person reach their true potential in that season when they're with you. So invite them to create a plan together with you so that we can meet the deadline. You have communicated so many things here. You've communicated your empathy, understanding of where they're at, but yet you've put in the deadlines that are there that need to be met and the support that you're giving. This is powerful. I got into a lot of trouble doing this during my time as a leader in the corporate world, but that didn't stop me. I continued because this, I felt, was very true and authentic to me. So why don't you share with us your empathetic favorite leadership moment? What is it that you did that you really feel you moved the needle for a colleague? Why don't you share that with us? Well, this is what I have for you today on the empathetic leader or leader empathy. Our next episode is on leader overwhelm. We all understand overwhelm and anxiety, and it does happen. It's not something that we can push under the rug. We're going to seek to understand how leaders can stay composed during high-stake moments. And as a leader, you go into a lot of high-stake moments and you end up having so many emotional highs and lows in a day. And we are seeking to understand how leaders can do this. Where's the balance? Well, see you in the next episode. Let us help build each other. And until then, be kind to yourself.
Thank you for tuning into this week's Tuesday Talks at 3 on Voiced by Lucy. If today's message resonated with you, give this video a like, drop a comment to share your thoughts, and share it with someone who needs a little inspiration today. And oh yes, hit the subscribe button while you're at it. Remember, Growth starts with one step. You've got this.